whole shit is like fucking the same line.
What, me and you?
Yeah, like it's like same year, same
Very similar.
one. Okay.
Welcome to Michael's podcast.
I'm a Jew. He's a Jew.
Hi. Welcome to two Jews and one bar.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Two Jews walk into a bar.
You want to start by introducing yourselves?
My name is Michael.
I am Ryan.
Hi, Michael and Ryan.
Hi.
You guys are part owners of this fabulous establishment, ViCTORiA. How did the two of y'all meet?
We were in LA doing press. The year is debatable.
Yeah, 2009 or 10 or something.
Yeah, we talked about it the other night, and we both thought each other were wrong. And we had a party at Little Joy. We had a going away back to New York party, and our friend Jenny Aliscu brought Mike to the party, and we hung out a little bit, and then re-met later in New York when I put his guitarist Josh on my back at a show at Bowery Electric.
Right. Yeah, and how I remember is I was living on Portia Street, which is where that bar is in LA. And Jenny was like, "You got to meet these guys. You guys are really gonna hit it off." And I went down to the bar, and I've never met a group of more standoff people in my whole entire life. So, needless to say, it was years before we became really tight. No, I don't think you were busy doing your thing, going around the room, being the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I sat next to his brother Alex, who's a really good friend of mine now. But he was like, so,
yeah.
And I was like, cool.
Yeah, that sounds like Alex.
But fast forward a few years later, and we were thick as thieves.
Yes.
Turns out these guys weren't such assholes.
Yeah.
Musicians are very, very emotional people that don't know how to handle it in real life scenarios. So they come off standoffish, but they're just
little gentle souls.
Nervous.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little socially insecure.
Yeah.
And I was probably like, these guys are cool. Are these guys cooler than us? Like, what's going on?
Oh my god. Are these guys cooler than us?
He did not think that. That was not happening. And it was all a laugh, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
The best memories you can't remember, I think.
So you guys are playing a show at Bowery Ballroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
23rd.
Yes.
Reuniting for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, this is the first time we've played together in 10 years. And this is the first time my band's played in 6 years.
We played one show in 5 years or something like that.
Something
Glos.
Ryan is in the Soho Glos.
Yes.
Michael's in Skaters.
Yes.
Michael, what is your favorite Soho Glos song? And Ryan, what is your least understanding? What is your favorite Skaters song?
Well, like Son of an American was always like, I mean, I know it's like a really obvious answer, but it was the first song that when we heard it, we saw the potential of we're like, this is going to be a humongous song or something. It shows what we
were the
know.
only ones that thought that. It was just us. I really, really love their second record. I love a ton of songs, but I don't know. Maybe the first one I always put on is Mental Case, I think. I'm a mental case, yeah.
It's always nice when you like your friend's music. So often you're like, oh, yeah, this is cute.
Well, I think band people can tell when their friends don't 100% like their band. Always like the joke was like, after the show, you'd either say like, good show, which means you suck.
Which means,
and then, yeah, that was cute. Not my thing. And then there's like the real, then some friends really, will let you know exactly what it was that they liked about your show. But I think it's obvious when you don't have a friend. I have good friends that don't necessarily like my band, and that's and you kind of don't really care after a while. But I think at first you're like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have a lot of friends that don't like the band.
they
But
come to the show anyway.
None of my friends like
That's a
that.
good friend.
I have a lot of friends that do really like the band. So that's cool too.
It's like tippers.
But
and
I really like
non-tippers.
his band. So like that was always easy.
I love when
Yeah.
that
And
happens.
awesome.
It's just
Yeah.
easy. I'm like,
Yeah.
so y'all met a while ago, and you sort of came up in New York, like correct me if I'm wrong, like end of the 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say that was like when we were peaking, like
Yeah.
2012, 13, 14,
We both put out records in 2013.
2013.
So,
We put out Blowout. They put out Manhattan. And we played each other's record releases.
oh, really?
So we opened for each other
That's so
that year.
sweet.
And that, I know we're so
That's a
cute.
brotherhood
You
right
are
there.
real cute.
Yeah, we
That
are.
is a built-in brotherhood.
Yeah. So like the new show is the same lineup from our actual record release from 10 years ago.
What
Not the
about,
whole lineup, but
like the New York of 10 years ago, because a lot has happened. What about it do you miss, and what about it do you not miss?
I miss it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have perspective on that kind of thing because, obviously we were like 26, 27 years old. So like,
Yeah.
you always kind of, I don't know.
Glory days.
Yeah, you glorify those days no matter what you were doing, right? So I do miss our youthful spirit, and we really thought we could take over like the whole planet.
Yeah.
Some things I don't miss, just being like super transient and the
Parts of that were fun too,
and
though.
parts of that were fun. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they were all connected, I guess.
You know,
I don't
grass is always greener kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to, sometimes the age is really fitting to what you're doing, right? So I was living in a illegal music venue in a room that I built in the corner, and I built a shower, and 300 people came into the living room every day at Shea Stadium. So like, do I want to do that now? No.
And I think
Was it fun then? It was fucking amazing.
Yeah. And I think like, your lifestyle changes over time, and the things that you remember as being amazing then you wouldn't really choose to do now.
Like now we like go out to dinner, and that's awesome. Then I used to collect quarters and those the dollar coins, whatever, off the floor and from the tip can at Shea Stadium. And I used to buy like an egg and cheese because I couldn't even get like bacon,
Yeah.
So like it's a very different lifestyle, and I like eating
Yeah.
Listen,
at
I
nice
think
restaurants.
there's a place for both of those lifestyles. I mean,
yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
one you don't want to do forever.
CYNOSURE is all about balance, recentering two very different extremes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That's us.
And
Yeah.
we're and
I want to go back
two
to
balanced
Shea
people.
Stadium because we were talking about this, I think, like a week ago. For people that don't know, can you kind of run us through just the brief history of Shea Stadium?
the first place that we started was called the Market Hotel, the Soso Glos, and 4 friends, close friends. And then like 2 years or a year after that, it was quick, our friend from where we grew up in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, called us. We were in San Diego. He wanted to open a music venue where he recorded the bands, which was a different aspect because he also like recorded our first record and produced it and is like the 5th Soso Glo. His name's Adam Reish. So he called us and he wanted to do that, and that was going to be the difference. We came home, we told him like, find a space with no neighbors and tell the landlord you're making art spaces or practice spaces, and they're locked and you can't get in there, and those are our rooms. He competed with some of the big venues in the city in Brooklyn, and we did it all without the proper
Channels.
channels.
As one does.
licenses.
And V27, and going back to the song Son of an American, there's an intro on that song featuring Milo talking about Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
One of the most famous 27-year-olds ever.
True.
died.
We both lived past 27.
You did, congratulations.
Have you yet?
I'm turning 21 next week.
Sick. Me too.
What's the significance of that?
It's Alex, my brother, and it's from a home video of us. If you watch the Son of an American music video, which is all home videos, the entire video, it opens with the clip that is from in that song, in Son of an American, and it's us, like, we were that age when it came out, or I don't know, young, and moshing in our living room and like throwing pillows and ruining another one of my mother's couches.
Probably listening to Nirvana.
Listening to Nirvana, and then it skips. Nirvana, we were throwing pillows, and the song skips, and then you hear Alex going, I don't know, what is it? What does he say? Yeah, you're listening to Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. He's like fucking, I don't know, how old is he? 90. He's like 6 or something, and he's like, Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain shot himself. Pow! We're like, moshing in the living room, and it's weird because I don't know, growing up in the 90s, like every musician that we idolized died or OD'd or shot themselves. It was like a fucking weird time for all your heroes to die.
Yeah, it's true.
Of your brother, your band is brothers or half brothers, is step brothers, is brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
How do you navigate working with your family? I would imagine it to be a little tricky.
This is all you.
This is the
Mike's gonna take this one.
portion of the interview.
No, that's cool.
You're next, buddy.
This is a question I wrote because I
No.
also have a musical family.
Yeah.
Make sure it's not just us.
No, it's we hung out, the band The Cribs, they're brothers, and he said, I asked him once, or we were hanging out and we were talking, and
Ryan John.
yeah, and he said this line, and I kind of steal it, but he was like, the highs are really high and the lows are really low, and that's true. Like when something really good happens and you're with your brothers doing it, it's fucking epic and amazing. And when shit's bad, it's like worse than when you're just in a band with other guys, I think. I honestly, like, I don't know, because I've always been in a band with my brothers, but I see how other bands act and interact, and no one can really rip you apart and hurt you like your family can. And yeah. I think we used to just like get really mad at each other and then curse each other out, and then like we'd get drunk and then never say sorry and then just start the next day. But now we're older.
Like any normal family.
Yeah. And now we're older, and now we try and speak about our feelings, and haven't been on tour in 5 or 6 years. When you're touring 10 years straight and you're making art and you're making music with someone, or running a business, it's hard. It's hard to really have brothers in the brother sense. But now I do feel like I do very much have brothers, and there's a lot of love, and there's a better balance between us. If we were on tour again for 5 years, I don't know, probably be back to the same thing. But it's right now it's good. It's fluid. Yeah, it's definitely fluid. Yeah.
You guys are like the upside down version of the Jonas Brothers.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
First we got Hanson,
Oh, Hanson.
because we're that,
Yeah.
and then Jonas Brothers, and no one ever said. I mean, it's older people that said the Kinks, which that's what we wanted. And
What's wrong with that?
yeah, cool. The bar's called ViCTORiA. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kinks. Yeah. Go ahead.
So you guys have a song called ADD Life.
Yeah.
You don't really hear a lot of songs
Yeah.
sensibilities in
Yeah.
rock and roll.
Mm.
I myself grew up with ADHD, and
Mhm.
I particularly took comfort in a few of the lyrics. I need a life that I can plug in the wall. My mind goes to work like it's stuck in reverse.
Yeah.
I had to search the deep web to see if I still exist, and I knew for sure that it would become easy, but nobody told me it'd be so fucked.
Yeah.
Thank you for writing that.
I didn't write it. My brother
Well, thank
did.
you to Alex.
Yeah.
Who wrote it.
They like wanted to put Alex on like medication or Ritalin or whatever the fuck they were giving little kids in the 90s early when we were young, and my mother was like, no, fuck that, and I think that I can't say for sure, but I think a lot of times there's probably like an artistic element to kids that have that kind of thing, or vice versa, like they work in whatever, and if you stunt it with like pills, I think that's a shame, and you should, but I don't know, education's changed since then, and
If I was your
people
mom,
are-
I'd be like, yeah, he needs the pills, and I would have pocket them. But that's just good business.
Yep.
yeah
No one thinks about selling drugs at 8 years old.
totally.
Yeah.
Started him off young.
Yeah, we were in 3 or 4 more years and me and Alex would have been slinging, but
So,
no.
speaking of that, you were putting out music again. You had a release, you had Christmas release in like 2022, and now you just put out Everywhere is War.
Yes.
Walk us through those releases. Tell us, give us a little something.
Well, Shay closed in 2017. We used to record, practice, write stuff there. The band started kind of slowing down. We had released a record that year or the year before. We went on like a UK tour and a US tour. And then we didn't know if we were going to keep, playing or making music. I mean, we've been making music together since we were 5 years old. So it was like, be weird if we stopped, My brother started working on a solo record and has released 2 under Alexander Orange Drink. Anyway, we started getting together during COVID and we started recording songs, just 3 of us. So we weren't like hammering them out. We were building the songs with like electronic drums and writing them on acoustic and then doing overdubs. So they have a different sound than stuff that we've done. The Christmas song is very much classic, and that happened later and in a different time. Like that might have been the last song we recorded and the first song we put out, and that was with Spider from the Pogues. We started making all these songs, and then we started thinking it would be cool if we got guests on every song. Mike's on a song, just like all our friends, So like Spider from the Pogues and Connor and Matt and Kim, Big Youth, who Zach met in Jamaica. Maddie from Cult is on the next song that's going to come out hopefully before the show. I don't know when this is going to air, but sometime in June, and the next single will come out. So it's just been fun and have our friends on the songs, and it makes it like interesting it makes it a little different.
So, I met you like 6 months ago, I think. It was during Jack's family night. I came to support.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then I met Michael like a couple months ago during my family night.
Okay.
DJing. And you and Maria, you guys are all such lovely and welcoming human beings, and I think it's such a testament to like this beautiful, vibrant community built around Victoria and the other bar, Dream Baby. It really does remind me of like Laurel Canyon in the 70s in a sense, Chelsea Hotel Lobby Bar kind of thing.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. You weren't there,
But there was a guy who looked just like
Yeah, I bet.
He says, hey.
There was guys that looked just like us there. They were like, man, New York's dead. Man, remember the 60s? That was sick.
That was sick.
Ginsberg.
So yeah, we built an amazing community. I think it's kind of done unintentionally, just because we're all musicians or artists or writers or whatever, and we surround ourselves with those people naturally. So we've been around so long that when all three of us came together and opened a spot, it was filled with those people because that's all we knew, right?
Yeah.
So, feel
comfortable around
and we feel comfortable around those people, and those people gravitate towards people that are like-minded, and it's a snowball effect to some extent. And there's a ton of people that are younger than us that we've met through opening this bar that I feel like if I was their age now, I'd be doing the exact same things as them. And they remind me a lot of myself. I won't tell them that because it'll age me. But I do see.
Worry, this won't.
Oh yeah, this one.
I tell them sometimes.
But yeah, like I see
cool with that.
people.
I'm cool.
I see it's a cyclical thing, and like every generation, even though people like to say that Gen Z is so different or whatever, and I just I see the same kinds of like-minded people and like across the board, apparently everyone drinks, so a bar's a good place to meet up. Yeah.
And we've I mean, we met a lot of cool, like a whole bunch of new crews that are like
I'd say when
doing the same shit that we were doing.
And when you start like anything, like the best way to, in this city, at least in my experience, is just to go out as much as possible, and to have a place where, people are going to show up just because there's XYZ going on. And that's how you create that, it's, you can't do it on your phone from home. You got to make real connections and show face. And
sometimes you want to go where everybody knows
your name.
Yeah.
And I think that, well, I don't know, like the brother thing and all that stuff, like I feel like all the spaces that I've been a part of feel very familiar, and like Mike feels like my brother, and it's very, I don't know, it's a fucking love fest, dude. It's a love fest. ViCTOria's a love fest. And like we welcome that, and we don't, we're cool. We know we're cool. We don't need to be like too fucking, we don't need to be too cool. We don't need to be too cool, We don't need to be fucking like, who are those guys? Like, oh, you want to come to our bar? It's like, come to our bar and be fucking rad and be cool and be nice, and like, that's it. Like, be nice.
So I hail from LA.
Mhm. Land of really historically nice people.
Yes.
Genuine, awesome people.
known for its loveliness.
Known for their genuine niceness.
Yeah. Well, we met there, so that's cool.
That's
true. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you met there, you were like,
hated
"Who's
it,
this
yeah.
guy?"
Yeah.
It got to a little bit. It sunk in a little skin deep.
Yeah.
We met in LA and we were like acting very LA.
Uh-huh.
I've been blown away by the emphasis on community here. It's almost extinct in LA.
You put out a solo EP.
Yes.
What was that?
Talking about community, he's doing something on his own.
I sure did.
It comes out tonight.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The first single is called Contemporary Me. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
That's the second single, but yes.
Second single?
This was kind of a long time coming. I just didn't really know what to do musically for a while. And when we wound down with my previous band, I kind of wanted to get as far from making music as possible. And this EP, this release, is just a collection of, I think, like my best ideas over that time. I just had an epiphany that I needed to put stuff into the world and make space to create new stuff. And that's like my whole philosophy behind it. Just fucking do it. Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's not taken, is it?
Yeah.
Michael Ian Cummings.
The
Just
first
do it.
single is called Oldest Troubles.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what are your oldest troubles?
Oh, I don't think I'm going to go into that on camera.
But we'll revisit them again and again.
But you'll always revisit them for the rest of your life and learn to live with them.
She sent me these questions, and I was listening to the music, and I was okay. And I don't know, I was like still drunk or something when I read them this morning, and I was like, Nicole, what do you mean oldest? That's a hard pivot. She's like, that's the first single, you idiot. I was like, oh, sorry.
All right,
Yeah.
so replace it with, which we haven't even gone do you know how to dance?
No, I still cannot dance. No, not at all.
Nice Hat has like the most curious outro. You guys are a good group for intros and outros.
What's the outro? Oh,
The delirious taxi driver.
the taxi cab
shit.
driver.
Please, like, take us back to that moment.
Well, I used to work at this bar called Black. Well, I don't know if I was at Black. I think I was at Black Market. I was DJing on this Monday night where Noah from Skaters was bartending, and I would DJ on Monday nights. We had this night called Palm Beach Mondays, and I was walking around trying to get like sound bites like for the record, and I got into a cab, a yellow cab, because Uber didn't exist, and this cab driver was wasted. I mean, like fucking smashed. And we just start talking, and I'm drunk, and we're just talking,
You're
and
like, "It's cool."
I'm recording this. I'm like, I'll get home somehow. I just have to got to get over the Manhattan Bridge from the East Village. That's literally, I'm just going to Tillery Street. Just get me over the bridge. And he's like, no, he's like, starts talking to me. You know, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then he's just like, I'm not going to do his voice, but he starts singing. He's like, he's my guy. I don't know why. My boy Michael. And he calls me my dude, my duty, my tootie duty, or some shit like that. And I was like, wow. Like, I'm getting like gold in this cab.
Yeah.
This is sick.
So I
What?
record
None
the
of you
whole
guys have ever recorded a cab driver before?
Oh, I have.
Me too.
Yeah.
Great. I got some great stuff.
Yeah.
Some
There was
gold.
one guy who was giving me advice for picking up women. I was like,
Thanks, dude.
I was like, yeah, I'll try that next time.
Really reading the cab.
Use the subway door tone on the album.
Yeah, it's like the F train. Ding dong.
Oh,
So
really?
did we on the
Yeah.
same
Same release.
record.
Yeah.
I love that part.
On our record, we used on the.
I was just like,
I don't know. It's like, dun, dun,
oh, you use the tone.
bam, bam, bam.
Every time I hear that tone, I think of Coconut Records. Bong, 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 dong, 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 dong. It's the, I'm like, yo, how did he not hear that like on the subway and was like, oh, there we go.
So Miss Teen Massachusetts is
Yes.
an amazing video.
Ah, thank you.
Tell me about the concept. Who came up with that concept? What was it like filming that?
Oh, I think it was Claire McDonald like came up with it. We had a bunch of like friends that worked at Vice at the time. They were all like super talented, like videographers, like photographers, DPs, creative director people. And we just kind of like let them go with it. And we were on Warner Brothers at the time. So we're like, we have a budget. Like, let's rent out this like, you know, nunnery or whatever the fuck it was. And like, make it, turn it into an insane asylum and pay your friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. I was very sick when we filmed that video.
Really?
Like so sick. I was in a sleeping bag. And then they'd be like, can
Like
you
fever?
get out? Fever. Do the scene. Then go right back into a sleeping
Shit.
bag.
Have to watch it again, knowing that.
Still here.
Yeah.
Did you pull it off?
Yeah.
When you watch
Yeah.
it, do you feel the?
I mean, it kind of
You
is
feel
on
the
par.
feeling?
Oh no, I don't even. I just remember like the pictures of me in a sleeping bag, like on the floor.
Okay, but you don't like feel the.
It wasn't like as horrible as it could have been.
It fits with like the girl interrupted insane asylum.
Yeah, I think that's what the concept was. I can't take credit for that. I didn't really make that up, you know. All I did is write the song, but then like they kind of like took over, and I find it's better when you just let people do their thing, you know, like.
I
with-
tell
with that
everyone
kind-
what to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I just let everyone do it.
Yeah.
Your history is really interesting. You've experienced major label support with your WBR-backed Warner Brother Records backed first record,
Yeah.
Manhattan.
Yes.
But you've also experienced the contrast of self-releasing with the sophomore album, Rock and Roll Bye Bye.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through the internal journey of that transition and how it may have shaped your Nicole? How it may have shaped your practice? Oh my gosh.
Clearly, I wrote this one.
Yeah. Well, I will say that like you know, there were like some amazing things about being on a big label like that.
Renting out a nunnery.
Yeah, or like, you know, spending a month in Electric Lady to make the record. Like there was a bunch of stuff, like there was amazing things that that came out of it for sure. And I like that record. I do like it. But when I look back on it, the one I'm more proud of was the one we did on our own.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
which one you like most connect connect to.
The one I connect to is Rock and Roll Bye Bye. We rented a friend's studio in Sunset Park and lived there pretty much. Like just didn't leave and had just like a lot of ambition to make, like, we were trying to make a double record. And I think like what came out of it, we pushed ourselves like I think a lot harder than we even did on the first record. And we were always a really ambitious band, but you know, getting dropped was like a lot of mixed emotions, but I think we put out a better product after it. I know it wasn't as successful, but I really think it's good. So.
Do you think
Second
that being
record's one of my
dropped
favorite
Yeah.
records.
fueled that ambition to make something fucking epic?
Yeah, it was kind of like happening while we were like writing, you know what I mean? We like just couldn't tell what they were going to do. And then there's something that happens to a lot of artists where they get kind of shelved, which is basically they don't drop you because they want to like hope that they're like going to like get some success out of you working hard and them not putting any money into you.
You're gonna do it on your own.
Yeah,
And they're gonna get lucky.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then they'll like pay for your next record. But they you know, like they weren't like very clear about like whether they were going to like push us through to another record. And we finally were just like, we got to know, you know? So it was once they finally did drop us, there was like, you know, mixed feelings about that for sure. Yeah. Thanks.
So
You do too.
You put the second record out, and then we were talking earlier. The question on everybody's lips:
Where'd you
what
go?
happened?
Well, I mean, a lot of things happened. I mean, I needed a break. I just needed to like stop. Like I wanted to live like a somewhat, you know, more consistent lifestyle. Our bandmates had multiple children. That happens sometimes. You know? And it's amazing how quickly 6 years can pass, especially when there's a 2-year pandemic thrown in the middle of it. But
It feels like a lot longer
Yeah.
to me.
since our last show, yeah, 2017, I think. So
It feels like
That feels like
Holy shit.
a long time ago.
from when I was
That was BC.
That's before sign up.
Before Sonic.
from when I was touring regularly and like we were recording records with labels. It feels like 15 years ago to me.
yeah, but I think like we also weren't at our most active, like, you know, like when we stopped, you know what I mean? Like we did a few tours and stuff, and then we were just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know,
But now you're coming back and you're playing together and
now we're just having fun again.
June
Yeah.
23rd.
It was fun.
Skaters are coming back, and how does it? You have the EP coming out tonight.
And the EP release show.
Next Wednesday.
First
Yep.
at the Sultan Room.
Exactly.
Is it interesting to have your own, just your Michael project? You have one hand here, and then you have your other hand on your Skaters project. How is the juggling of the two? How is that all playing out?
Honestly, it's pretty confusing. It was a lot for my brain, to be honest. I had to like postpone until this show's over. My show's over. I had to postpone the skater stuff, like the practices, because I was just like, I couldn't like, you know, keep it like straight. Like, what am I supposed to focus on now? Like, you know, it was a little ambitious to do them back to back, but it'll be fine. And I've done it a million times. I can do it. I can do this.
When you plan these things out like 4 months ago, it's
So far
sounds
away.
easy.
Yeah.
I remember you
Yeah.
telling me, no, I think you told me before Christmas or something when I was here.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It
but
might have
was
been.
some shit. It was like November
Yeah.
or something.
no, I don't. Well,
Maybe.
maybe we're gonna play a show.
We're gonna,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we didn't have like a date or I don't know when we got the date, but it wasn't then because we were just playing that first show. We played the last show for the Christmas release
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
was
I remember
December
that one, yeah.
17th,
That was
and you know we didn't know if anyone was gonna fucking come, but then it sold out and it was amazing and
I always
it was so fun.
If you build it, they will come.
yeah.
Just like Victoria.
my favorite.
Exactly.
Just build the fucking thing.
These
Yeah.
are our like signature questions we're asking everybody. So eventually we want to expand into the festival space.
Mhm.
So you're headlining both of you together, Skaters and Soho's.
Co-headlining.
Co-headlining.
Does that
the
exist?
Dated inaugural CYNOSURE Music Festival. Where in the world is it? You get full creative control, and who else is on the bill?
Never been to Japan.
I'd say Japan. That was what I was gonna say.
Really?
Yeah, I want to go back.
See this shit?
You're so cute.
It's fucked up.
I only got to go once. I want to go back.
I've never been there.
Exactly, it's fun.
Real big in Japan.
I would.
It was cool.
We're huge in Japan.
Huge in Japan.
We did have these very young maybe they were 14 years old, cover this song that we did called Lost Weekend,
That's really cool.
which is on Blowout, and they played it like better than us. Like it was like a live version. They were really good.
That's really cool.
Like the Clash are playing, right? I mean, obviously the Clash are playing. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Clash, Kinks. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah, we'll switch back and forth.
The Silver Jews are gonna play.
I thought you were gonna say the Pixies.
Pixies should play too.
Do another one.
Pulp, Blur, Oasis. Come on,
yeah.
what are we nuts? We're getting if the Beatles are playing. I mean, the Rolling Stones. Everyone's playing. Yeah.
Beethoven.
And we're headlining,
Frank
which is the most
Sinatra.
important thing. Yeah. I mean, we have that's a lot of good openers.
Yeah, they'll do. I think they
Beastie
have some
Boys.
ball.
Beasties. The Beasties are gonna play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richard Hawley
Richard Hawley
for Allie.
for Allie. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
That's a sick lineup.
Maybe he'll play in Pulp. He'll play in Pulp too.
He'll be there anyway.
He'll be there anyway, playing with Pulp.
You do it, baby.
The Ninja Turtles will be there.
The Ninja Turtles are opening. They go on at noon, so get there early.
I actually saw the Ninja Turtles on Broadway.
Is it first day or second day?
Ninja Turtles go on at noon first day. There's so many acts. There's so many good acts.
No.
Alright, CYNOSURE is a versioning haven for lovers of physical media. But it's also like our mission is to recenter from complete analog physicality and complete isolating digital tech Wild West that we find ourselves in right now.
Yep.
A more harmonious existence.
Okay.
So along those lines, streaming or tangibility in terms of music?
They both have positive qualities. I will say that I think just for sound loss, like sound quality, like is really awful right now. And I wish streaming would take the cake if it had better sound quality. And so many people have tried to do it, but it's not there and not even close to like even CD quality, and I have to go physical. Yeah.
Love tangibility, physical, amazing. But the idea that anyone can listen to Mike's entire EP in the whole world
At
tomorrow
midnight. Yeah. It's amazing.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And like that changes things from it not getting played on the radio in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
They can just fucking listen to it because they were a Skaters fan.
Yeah.
You know?
Takes back a little bit of power, you know what I mean?
But holding a fucking record or
There's
even
no
a
better
CD when we
feeling,
were
yeah.
little and
You remember learning everything you knew about a band from the liner notes,
And that's all I needed to
backstage photos, whatever. Like, I still listen to full records, but here's one thing that I don't do as much because I don't have it in front of me, which is I'm not reminded of records I haven't listened to in a long time as much. So when I had everything in front of me, I'd go, "Oh, this is you never heard this record?" And then people would be
CD
like,
booklets.
"Oh yeah, I've never heard this." Put the whole thing on, And that I miss that.
Trying to
Yeah, I miss like being reminded that I really was into this record at this point. You know what I mean? And I don't think about that when I open my phone to get on the subway.
Okay. What is your favorite? This is called the Proust question. What's your favorite word?
word. Fuck.
Also,
Oh, I said fuck. Okay.
Fuck and
Go.
also, what's your least favorite word?
no.
Say.
Yes.
What is? What turns you on? That can mean a lot of things.
Mm. The ocean.
The ocean.
Nice one.
Free time.
You know what I would have said? If I could think about it for a second. Museums.
Museums. Philosophy.
Yeah.
Proust.
Yeah.
Proust. What turns you off? Oh, wait,
Philosophy.
Museums.
Yeah. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck. Obviously. It's my favorite
Cunt.
word.
Cunts.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
President. Just kidding. I don't really want to be the fucking president.
Oh, yeah. I would vote for you in
I-
a second.
Ryan, as of this moment, you are my president.
Yeah.
Thank you, America.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
I think like astronaut would be my like childhood thing that I think like with the only thing I'm like, well, if it's a profession, if
That
that's a
was- that
profession,
was the
I'd
one?
like to go to space.
I wanted to be a basketball player.
Well, I didn't when I was a kid. I actually wanted to be a fire truck, but not a fireman, just the truck itself. So
That sounds very Rudy. That sounds very.
What career would you not want to do? Like bottom of the list.
Whoever cleans out the fucking sewers. I've seen that on like the worst job. I talk about cable. There was that show like worst jobs ever.
Man, worst jobs.
Gnarly, dude. That's a gnarly job.
Musician was like #1.
I'm not really sure, but I think like
Yeah,
anything
probably.
anything like underground where you stay underground all day
Yeah,
is
that
like
was
the
weird.
worst job ever. Just something windowless would be the
Security
worst.
guard in the basement. That would be a drag.
Terrible.
Security guard of a basement.
Yeah.
Of in either one.
Yeah, like mall security guard in a basement, maybe that would be bad.
You ride around that little thing though.
That's pretty cool.
And you can
and the
eat.
mall's kind of
I was
cool.
gonna say,
And you can
like,
eat-
I could be Paul Blart.
Or like
Mall Chinese food.
like a government building basement security guard.
Yeah, that sounds fucking hard. Last question.
At least you know about secret passageways though.
Maybe it might be a really lame government building.
Aren't secret passageways just like the coolest stuff?
My worst profession would be a Secret Service agent for Ryan.
What do you mean? That would be rad. That would be awesome. You
I get
drive the-
shot? I get
no,
shot?
you drive the car. We're
That would
hanging
be
out.
cool. That would be
It's
cool.
like,
We'd get
yo,
McDonald's a
Let's
lot.
go to Ben's Chili Bowl.
We get McDonald's all the time.
Yeah.
What
Would we?
sound or noise do you?
Hey. I love that sound. Beginning.
I like the sound of like a champagne bottle popping. Yeah.
What sound or noise?
Which you can hear if you come on down to Victoria.
Tonight.
tonight?
Sunday. Okay.
How you doing, Manhattan? Brooklyn. What sound or noise do you
Hate.
Go ahead. I don't-
Like if you ever go to the gym and someone like is a moaner, like while they're exercising, like, yeah, that's my newest pet peeve.
I'm gonna build on that, and I'm not gonna. Have you guys ever heard drummers when they're recording?
They go,
They make all different drummers make all
They make noises.
okay, all different drummers make all different noises when they record. So they're playing and they're like, if you have like a mic that's near them, it's like all different drummers make different sounds. Yeah, it's a weird fucking thing.
Mhm.
What would you like to hear God say to you as you enter pearly gates?
You sure about that? You sure you're in the right place?
Welcome, Ryan, Michael, free mezcal forever. But we already have that here on Earth, so
It exists.
yeah. Heaven's a place on Earth. Heaven's a place called Victoria.
Anyway, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the shows and
Thank
the
you, thank you,
music
thank
and
you.
the bar and fucking doing stuff like this for horrible kids like us.
Great people.
And hey,
Of course.
Thanks for doing it.
Thanks
what I
for-
would say.
Thanks for asking us.
That's what God says.
Just do it, Michael.